Shawnee demolished its 200th building.
And OBU students head to California for a 3-day conference. Stay tuned.
Welcome to this week's edition of News 30. I'm Nicole Smith.
And I'm Oliviana Calmes. Today, Lieutenant Governor Todd Lamb resigned from his seat in Governor Fallon's cabinet as the state's small business advocate. This does not mean he has resigned from his role of Lieutenant Governor. It just means he is no longer filling that specific position of small business advocate. The main reason for his resignation has been deemed disagreements over the governor's tax plan. This decision was announced earlier today.
White House National Security Advisor Michael Flynn resigned this past Monday after reports were released saying that the Trump administration had been warned by the Justice Department that Flynn gave misleading information concerning communication with Russia. Flynn gave an apology in his resignation letter, admitting to providing incomplete information.
The Trump administration announced that a new labor secretary will be named today. This was announced during a press conference held earlier this afternoon after Andrew Puzder withdrew his name from consideration yesterday. The president also remained active on Twitter today, calling out the press for alleged continual attacks against his administration.
Governor Fallon has lifted the burn ban originally issued for 53 counties in Oklahoma after the rain we got on Tuesday. But wildfires continue to be a concern across the state and during this time of year since fire season is reaching its peak. Potawatomi County still has an active burn ban that will last through February 24th. Jake Nelson will have more later in the show with your weather forecast.
Now, Nicole, you recently went downtown to investigate a demolition project, right?
That's right, Oliviana. I was able to talk to a homeowner who welcomed the now empty lot. Let's take a look. An empty lot sits on Philadelphia Street where the city of Shawnee demolished its 200th building. For some members of the Shawnee community, the now empty lot is a welcome sight. David Bull lives across from the lot. He said the former house was the site of undesirable activity in the neighborhood.
They attracted a lot of the wrong type of people, would be the word for it. And the police were over there at least once or twice a week. And they just finally, I didn't know the city was going to do that. I mean, it came as a surprise. And I know they got evicted. And then next thing I know, they were bulldozing the house.
Bull said he was interested in buying the lot himself, but all demolition sites belong to the city of Shawnee. It is unclear what the city plans to do with the empty lots at this time.
Yeah, there's been some of these houses need to be torn down. There was a couple of them right around here that were in real bad shape.
Now Mr. Bull just hopes the demolitions will continue to improve the neighborhood. Reporting from downtown Shawnee, I'm Nicole Smith, News 30. The Shawnee Public Library is hosting story time at the mall for preschoolers ages 30 to 48 months and their caregivers every Monday this month. No registration is required, and the event will take place in the center court of the Shawnee Mall. There will be books, board stories, finger rhymes, and more. The activity will start at 4:30 p.m.
For anyone in the Shawnee area looking to buy a car, Joe Cooper Auto has announced that they are building a new facility on Shawnee Mall Drive, which will have Ford and Chevrolet vehicles. Currently, the Joe Cooper dealership on Harrison Street has separate Ford and Chevrolet locations, but once the new facility is complete, the two car brands will be kept at the same lot. Chevrolet plans to have its vehicles at the new location sometime around October 2017, and Ford plans to move in January 2018. The new Joe Cooper dealership is being constructed at 4920 North Auto Mall Drive.
When we come back, OBU students headed to California this morning.
And OBU is hosting a concert open to the public. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to News 30.
4 OBU students and the Assistant Dean of Students, Jonathan Solomon, headed to Los Angeles this morning for the 21st Annual Student Congress on Racial Reconciliation at Biola University. This is the first time OBU has been represented at the conference, and Assistant Dean Solomon expressed his interest in opening this event to the student body as an annual trip. The conference focuses on racial relations and resolving issues through a Christian viewpoint. For more information about this conference, you can go to the website at www.biola.edu/SCORR 2017. You can also follow students' updates on Twitter with the hashtag SCORR 2017.
OBU hosted its first ever Gospel Fest last Sunday, February 12th. The festival included choirs from local churches as well as OBU's very own gospel choir. The event was created by Assistant Dean of Students, Jonathan Solomon. Gospel Fest taught students about the cultural importance of gospel music while inviting them to experience worship in a brand new way.
OBU Campus Activity Board's show, Lodge of Love, was held this Tuesday. It showcased many acts from students at OBU. The theme for this year was La La Lodge of Love, based off the Oscar-nominated movie La La Land, starring Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone.
OBU's annual Concerto Aria will take place in the Potter Auditorium this Sunday. The concert will begin at 7:30 p.m. 12 music students will perform, starting with sophomore vocalist Julie Welch. Dr. James Vernon, OBU music professor, will conduct the concert. The event will be preceded by a pre-concert lecture at 6:20 p.m. in Rayleigh Chapel Room 203E. Both events are free and open to the public.
After the break, Jake Nelson will have your weather update, so stay tuned.
Welcome back. Jake, please tell us we have some nice weather heading our way.
Well, Nicole, after a roller coaster of a week in terms of weather last week, it seems that we are finally leveling out temperature-wise. Looking outside the current conditions, 58 the current temperature outside, winds out of the south-southwest at around 12 miles per hour. We reached a high of 66 today, some places across the state reaching the highs around the low 70s. Then tonight, we're looking to drop into the chilling 40s and even 30s for parts of the state. 43 for the low tonight in Shawnee, winds out of the south around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Looking ahead into your weekend, a few clouds in the sky that will begin to accumulate into some storm clouds for the end of your weekend. Highs in the upper 60s to lower 70s on Friday into Saturday, and then a 40% chance of rain on Sunday as those clouds begin to group more and more together. Highs in the mid-70s on Sunday, lows for the weekend looking to be in the 40s and 50s. And as we move into next week, those storm clouds continue to move in as the chance of seeing rain increases to 60% on Monday with a high in the mid-60s. Then that rain chance goes back down to 40% on Tuesday, highs averaging out in the upper 60s to 70s range. Lows for the next week to the mid to lower 50s. And along with strong winds and random temperatures, we've also been experiencing fire dangers that has caused quite a scene around many parts of the state. News 30 had a chance to catch up with Rick O'Daniel, the task force manager for the Oklahoma Forestry Service. O'Daniel gave us a few tips to help with preventing more wildfires in this delicate time of year.
Defensible space is an area where you don't have a lot of stuff around your house. You don't have wood, firewood or something stacked up around your house. You don't have, you've got your grass mowed, even though it's dormant this time of year. You know, it's dead, so it's going to burn. But as long as it's short grass, it's more manageable for a fire department to put it out. This is the main part of the year for fires across the state of Oklahoma. This is our spring fire season. Normally it starts the end of January, runs through the 1st of April, maybe later than that. It's because all the fuel's on the ground right now. All the leaves are off the trees. All the grass is dead. Everything's dormant right now. And so it just doesn't take much to get a fire going once it starts. Every little thing can start a fire right now. Any kind of a little spark, a trailer with a flat going down the side of a road can spark and set a fire. A cigarette can set a fire. So it just doesn't take much to get a fire started this time of the year.
And now you're up to date with News 30's latest weather forecast. I'm Jake Nelson. After the break, women's tennis along with other sports updates from News 30's own Jason Berger. Stick around.
Thanks for staying with us. Now Jason Berger has your sports update.
Hey, thank you, ladies. To start things off this week, OBU women's tennis star Roxanne van Rensburg has been making a name for herself. The South Africa native was able to take down the #1 ranked NCAA Division II player Madeline Hill of Washburn University. Van Rensburg won the match in 2 games, 7-6 and then 6-3. She was also named the NCCAA Women's Tennis Student Athlete of the Week. The Lady Bison tennis team started off the season strong with a 6-3 win over Washburn University and takes on Drury University tomorrow night. In softball news, with spring sports almost in full swing, the Lady Bison softball team will also start swinging tomorrow. Game 1 of the regular season will start tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. here in Shawnee. The team will look to start off this season on a high note and look to improve after last season's 17-34 record. Despite last season's landslide, head coach Pam Fink expressed confidence in her pitching staff, led by Mackenzie Jones, Bailey Say, Amanda Peterson, and Haley Zimmerman. Fink also expressed that getting her team to the NCCAA tournament this season will also be a major priority. The Lady Bison will host Southwestern College from Kansas tomorrow afternoon. And in basketball news, both of the OBU basketball teams will be embarking on their last trips of their season starting tonight. The Lady Bison are currently taking on Southwestern Oklahoma State in Weatherford, and the men's team will follow suit at 7:30 tonight. Both teams have struggled this year as the Lady Bison have posted a 7-17 record, while the men have only put up 5 wins and 17 losses of their own. Chandler Rickey still leads the Bison in scoring, averaging 15.6 points per game, while Tasha Edge leads the women's scoring column with an average of 14.2. Both teams return home on Saturday when they host Northwestern Oklahoma State in the Noble Complex. And if you looked at the scoreboard at the baseball field of Dallas Christian College last night, you might have wondered if the football team was using the field to scrimmage, because the board read 28-6. That's right, the Bison baseball team put up enough runs to meet the equivalent of 4 touchdowns in 8 innings of play. The slugfest started early with a 3-run home run by Josh Timms in the first inning, and by the time Dallas Christian came up with 3 outs, the Bison had already put 7 runs on the board. When the damage had been done, OBU took the win 28-6 with 23 hits to their name. Starting pitcher Blake Whitehead got the win in 5 innings of work and allowed 6 hits in 4 innings. The 4-2 Bison take on a Ouachita Baptist tomorrow afternoon in Arkadelphia. And by the way, make sure you stay tuned next week when we talk about the OBU indoor track team in New York. Ladies, back to you.
Thanks, Jason. Many girls, including myself, played with American Girl dolls growing up, and now the company has announced that they will be releasing its first ever male doll, available February 18th.
The doll, named Logan Everett, comes with his very own drum set, ready to rock and roll. The company released this news after their research showed that many parents and children wanted more diverse characters and stories.
It's pretty cool. I had one growing up. Her name was Samantha. Well, it may be a little early, but we're already counting down to spring break. The official countdown is 22 days, so hang in there, students and faculty.
Thanks so much for joining us this evening, and make sure to tune back in next Thursday at 6:30 p.m.
You can also watch our shows on YouTube and follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Shawnee News 30. Have a great week.